Welcome to game number 4, everybody. My name is Mr. Llama. This is ZVT Stephano versus Lucifron. Stephano is up 2-1 in the best of 5 of the MSI Pro Cup Worldwide. And wow, Stephano able to hold the Marine SCV 1111 all in that last game without even sending a drone to scout. He purely did it off his Overlord scouting, no command center first, no 1-Rax FE, and that was enough for him to say, you know what, I'm going to pull all of my drones down to the natural, kill off the SCVs, and pretty much force back all bunkers. He got his queens out, his spine down, he got some lings out, and I mean, he read it correctly. He was able to just completely dominate Lucifron, who then attempted to come back with another, or pull all the SCVs, go for the Marine, like the really all in. And Stephano had 2 spines down, 2 queens up, lings already made, the drones pooled, and it just was too much right there for Lucifron to handle. So Stephano goes up 2-1 after being down 1-0 in this series. And now all of a sudden, Lucifron finds himself in a win or die situation right here. He needs to win this, and Tal'Darim Altar is his choice. So very interesting, considering that this map was already played in the pool, which I am very curious about, because I would assume that once a map's picked, it can't be picked again. But I guess in this tournament, that is not the rule. So they are deciding, you know what, you can go ahead and pick this map twice in a row if you want. Or not in a row, but it is picked twice in the same best of 5. And this time by Lucifron, while Stephano was actually the first one to pick it in the game number 2 after he did lose to Lucifron. So Stephano has to be loving these positions though, and it is not auto cross, which is something to note, and I feel like that's why Lucifron picked this map, which is why I was scared Stephano picked that map the first time, because these players have to scout. You know what? What if he's here? What if Lucifron's over here and he gets that great siege up position on Stephano? That's exactly what Lucifron was probably hoping for, and all of a sudden he's going to be saddened to find no, it's a cross position again, which of course is very nice for the Zerg, gives him a lot more space to work with, doesn't have to worry so much about that siege up. It's just a lot harder for the Terran to push across the map when it's cross position. It's a longer rush distance, everything like that, which of course begins to favor the Zerg as it does, as the time increases for your Marine tank to move unsieged or have to siege up far away and then slowly work its way in step by step. So Stephano going to go ahead and go for a scout right here. He's going to send that drone right there just to see if an SCV is coming, maybe look for an 11-11 drop in the middle, something like that. Going to see nothing, and head on back with the drone. So that was enough for him to say, okay, I feel good. I don't feel like anything crazy is coming, and nothing is crazy coming whatsoever as Lucifron takes his natural right there. And here we see Lucifron grabbing the early double gas. This is what I usually see when players go for that Cloak Banshee play, not the single extract that we were seeing out of Lucifron before. But you know what? I feel like we're going to see something different out of Lucifron this time, simply because last time they went for the Cloak Banshee, he did get that one refinery there earlier, and then he grabbed the... was he going command center first, though? Very true. So he did go command center first the last time, which then I suppose allowed for the delayed gas. That now things are starting to add up in my head. Now things make a little bit more sense to me. So he does go just 1-Rax FE, going to be getting out the Reactor Hellion, and now we'll have that double gas, and this should be leading into the Cloak Banshee style, which, you know what, hasn't truly failed him that much. It worked in game 1 to seal the win. In game number 2, it put him in a great position where he wasn't able to really seal the win, so to say, but he was able to put himself in a winning position that, that he just wasn't able to capitalize on. Stephano made some great plays there, of course, to come back, and Stephano's going back onto this 2-base style, getting the gas once again as natural. I really do love how he does this. And here goes down the starport, and I would imagine a tech lab fairly soon out of Lucifron if he does want to get Banshees on this, unless he goes for some sort of like Hellion drop into the base with the starport drop ship, maybe? Is that what he's planning? No. Yeah, that would have made sense. Why'd you have that much gas for that? Silly Mr. Llama, that doesn't make sense. Don't say things that are false. So Stephano back home, getting the double Evo chamber, not using it to wall off though this time. Very interesting. I actually disapprove. No, Stephano. You get a no from Mr. Llama for that. For not throwing it down right here in the wall. Why would you not? I mean, it's very, very, very simple thing to do, and all of a sudden, you know what, Hellions are forced into this little tiny choke right here, as opposed to having all that range to run, which he has seen, of course, in game 1 and number 2 from Lucifron, when he did not go for his 11-11. So it looks like Cloak Banshee will be coming out right here from Lucifron. And just continuing with that same sort of Hellion Banshee style that's oh so good. Are we going to see an earlier third as Stephano? Doesn't look like it. There are the rocks, of course, to break down, but looks like he's going for a very similar thing to last game, though he has grabbed this lair a little bit later, as well as these gases here. So grabbing everything slightly later. We'll still have a decent amount of gas, though, by the time that lair pops. And I would imagine he's going to once again go Mutus. He did go Mutus on this map last time, and they kind of served him well. He was able to do a decent amount of damage, pick off a decent number of SCVs right there, pick off some Marines, pick off Stim, which was so huge, was able to delay any sort of push like that. And now Stephano's going to start pushing out with these queens right here. So by taking those gases a little bit later, that did allow him, of course, to grab more queens to deal with these Hellions and drop creep tumors and just be ever so annoying as a third player. So it looks like the Hellions trying to do as much damage as they can. The Banshee coming out now, no transfuse go down. He just quite didn't have enough energy, so now he'll have enough energy to transfuse. There he goes. And he has enough energy on the other queen to transfuse that queen as well, so he will have enough to save there. But no queen right here for Injex, actually. So he pulled that queen for that, and it looks like the Cloak Banshee going to get in this time, and Overseer has not been made. How much damage will be done with it? It looks like it's just going to pick away at this Spine Crawler right here. Will it be able to get it in time? I believe it will, though the Overseer is finishing up right now. It's going to be very, very, very close. Where's the Overseer at? It's going to go down, and that is a very nice play right there by Lucifron, able to establish that. In the meantime, he's getting his third base up right now, back home. Where's the Overseer at? There it is. He morphed it way back in his base. And this Banshee looks like it's going to turn around and be killed, trying to pick off that queen. Unfortunately, unable to do so. Another Banshee has entered the field, though, and these queens are going to be melting. There's only one queen left right there. He doesn't have much at all. 4 Hellions and a Banshee now going to be picking away at the drones, and is Lucifron going to be able to even this up at 2-2 right here, just as he did in game 1 with the Hellion Banshee harass, able to do a ton of damage so far. Look at the supply. He is way ahead at this point, 76 to 47. Lucifron in such a great position. Needs to be careful with these Banshees, or Hellions though, excuse me, and the Hellions do go down as Stephano with great creep spread is able to pick those off with, of course, the Speedlings right there. So Lucifron still in a great position. He's killed 16 workers, 48 units at the cost of 10. Look at the units lost. It has been like that pretty much every game that I've seen, except for that last 11-11. Lucifron has been in such a great position with that early harass, and Stephano really hasn't been able to answer it. But is that a hive? He's making a hive, 10-minute hive. He started, yeah, at 10 minutes he starts a hive. So getting out the early infestors, getting out the fast 2-2 upgrades, while his opponent's still just getting the 1-1. So he's a whole upgrade, or 2 upgrades ahead of his opponent. And he is rushing for what I would imagine is an Ultralisk Ling push of some sort. Ultralisk Ling Infestor push. And what does Lucifron have? What's he going? It looks like he's going to continue with the Marine Medevac, probably some Marauders, I would imagine, being added in there. Style here, he's just continuing with these Hellions to be annoying. Hellion Banshee kind of trying to kill off as much creep as possible. 1 tumor remains right there, and that's pretty much all that he's got for that creep spread right there. So much has been picked off by Lucifron. Very well done. And Stephano just now at the 12-minute mark, he's going to hive on 2 bases. He went to hive on 2 bases. How ridiculous is that? You don't have the gas to support that, Stephano. What are you doing? You're crazy. What is he doing? Is he going for like a Nidus into the base or something? This is ridiculous. Nobody gets a hive on 2 bases. Apparently Stephano does. You know what? And I'm not one to question Stephano. I'm just going to say that right now. So these Hellions going to go down. So crucial right there for Lucifron. Losing those Hellions was such a big deal. That would have been so great to have against all those Lings. If he could have just microed them back a little bit better, gotten off creep, he would have been such a great position. But now Stephano in a decent position right there. With all that stuff gone, he's kind of evened up these supplies a little bit more. It looks like we're going to see these Banshees try and do some damage, but they are able to go down with the Fungal Growth, Queens, and Overseer all mixing together, combining. That's the word I was trying to say. All combining to take it down. And now Lucifron back home taking a 4th base as well. Is he being too greedy is my question. Stephano barely has a third base up. I mean, it's not up. It's still 25 seconds away. And I'm worried that he might be being a little too greedy, taking that fourth base. But at the same time, he is in such a great position, 112 to the 83. However, Stephano grabbing the +3 upgrades, grabbing adrenal glands. His Ultra's Cavern is done, but look at his gas. You can't support that, Stephano. An Ultra's costs 200 gas. You're going to get, what, 1? Nope, he's simply going for the upgrades. So he is just going for preparing for this late game upgrade style right here, as if he has like 4 or 5 bases, but he has 2, with the third one just getting up right now. How many drones does he have? He's at 55 drones. And I mean, this is ridiculous. Lucifron is in such a great position. He's going to actually be taking this fourth base fairly quickly right here. Going to send some Marines over, stim them over there to get him faster, and oh, he's going to be able to drop that. So that's going to force a possible scan, unless he waits for that turret. I would imagine he'll just scan and kill it off, though. Possibly. Or he's going to wait for the turret. Interesting choice. So I guess he doesn't want to waste all the minerals, but yeah, whatever. So he's going to start sending the SCVs now over there, and looks like Stephano gets in with some infested Terrans, going to be dropping them over here at the third, picking off the missile turret as well right there. So I love the little things that Stephano does with those infested Terrans. Able to not do a ton of damage. Few SCVs killed, couple Marines, turret killed. Not too much, but hey, you know what? It's energy. It's free. That costs pretty much nothing to Stephano whatsoever. So he's in a good position. Now he's sending a bunch of lings over here before this command center can turn to a planetary fortress. Will they get there in time? It looks like they actually will. They'll be able to get a decent surround on Lucifron's command center. And look at these upgraded lings. 2-2, about to get 3-3 here pretty soon. The Marines are still... Wow, they're 2-2 actually as well. So their upgrades just finished. He's now starting the +3 on them. Stephano will have that upgrade advantage, and he's able to force the command center to burn. The SCV is now going to get on it for repairs, though, and very nicely done by Lucifron, able to force back Stephano. And the important thing you have to remember is Stephano's on 3 bases. Lucifron's on 4 bases. That is ridiculous right now. How is Stephano able to still stay in this so well? He's up to 70 drones, though, to the 57 of his opponent. So it looks like Lucifron needs to be making SCVs. His macro might be failing him at this point, which would be crucial. There's no reason to be on these 4 bases with only 57 SCVs, especially when you're still basically mining from all of them. So he definitely needs to get his SCV count up. He may think he's a little bit better off in that area than he actually is, but it looks like Lucifron going for a nice push right here. And what's Stephano going to do? I don't know if he has enough of an army to really engage. Actually, look at these Ultralisks, and they are going to be 5-3 Ultras in about 10 seconds right here versus the 2-2 and the 0-1. So that is huge. And now he's going to start sending some links around. He's got infested Terrans over here at the third base to do some damage. Is he going to get another nice flank like we saw in that earlier game? And it looks like he's not even going for the flank. Yes, he is. There we go. So now he's going to start pulling the units around. He's going to try and catch this army while it's unsieged. I don't know if he's going to get enough in. Actually, it looks like the Ultras are going to start and push in before any of these tanks finish up. Some huge Fungal Growths go down, able to capture so many of the Marines. They're not properly split, and Stephano able to just demolish the army of Lucifron right there. Amazingly done by Stephano. He's able to take such a huge... Look at that. He was behind like 40 supply. Now he's up 50 supply versus his opponent. He's still on these 3 bases. Just got a 4th up, but he's already on 5-3 upgraded Ultralisk with Infestors. So strong, so tough to deal with. This planetary fortress now has been made. Some SCVs finally in production here for Lucifron. So it looks like he's finally realized, hey, wait a second, I don't have many SCVs at all. Now Stephano's going to start pushing in with the Ultralisk. I don't know if there's enough SCVs to repair here. I don't think there are. This is going to fall so quickly. Look at how quick that fell with the upgrades of Stephano. And there's not much that Lucifron really has to defend at this point. He's got a decent size army, I suppose, but that's not enough to deal with the Ultra Ling and Fester army of Stephano at this point. Looks like a drop coming underway, and it looks like Stephano has already spotted this multiple times, so he's going to easily be able to defend against that. Some infested Terrans going to be thrown out here as well to deal with this. Killing off the refinery yet again, being ever so annoying. Killing off possibly supply depot, some Marines, and SCV goes down. I mean, just doing whatever he can. And I think he's going to be ready for this drop. I would imagine that he's seen it multiple times, though he hasn't quite reacted to it yet. So possibly not. But look at how many Ultras Stephano has on the field right now. This is some of the most ridiculous macro I've seen. I have never seen a player go to Hive Tech on 2 bases like that in a Pro League game. I was going to say, I've casted some like Gold League players that did that before, but Stephano did it. He made it work. He kept a higher drone count than his opponent. And Lucifron now going to get in with some Stim Marines, though. Possibly, yes, he's going to Stim forward. Stephano sees it, though. He's going to be able to get some Lings over there to do some damage right here. These are finally 3-3 Marines, so they'll be able to do a little bit of damage, I would imagine. And Lucifron going to be annoying and try and abuse this cliff right here, possibly. Yep, so now he's going to unload into the main, trying to do a little bit of damage there. Stephanos going to have to split some army up. Some Lings run into no man's land right there. And here we see some more Marines coming over here, trying to take out this third base. Will they get it? There's some units over here. Looks like they're going to be able to kill this off, though, as the Ultras finally get over there. So at what cost? Looks like Lucifron going to lose a decent amount of his army right there, but he's able to snipe the base, which is a huge blow to Stephano. Puts him back at 3 bases versus 3 bases. The upgrades are now more even. 3-3 versus the 3-3 of his opponent. He's about to get us +3 for his mechanical attack units. And now Stephano kind of, has to make sure that he can establish his 4th base. I would like to see some spine crawlers and spore crawlers around these bases right here. Possibly have like a spore here and a few spines right there. A couple spines in the back. Just kind of give himself more protection so he can start to move out, because he is going to be engaging up against Lucifron's army, which is very minimal at this point, but there are a lot of Marauders, actually. Excuse me, I was looking only right there at the Marine tank. There are the Marauders, which are oh so good, of course, against the Ultralisk. Do that extra bonus damage to Ultralisk, and now Stephano checks for that 4th base, sees it's not up. How much do they do? 26 damage to each Ultra, but these Ultras do have 6 armor as well as 500 health. So that is definitely a big tank to take down, and I'm not so happy, I should say, with Stephano's play of waiting this out so much. I mean, I know it's very difficult to engage into a Terran army, but you know what? He could be sending some more Ling run-bys into his 3rd, stuff like that. Try and be a little bit more annoying. He's on a max army. The best thing is, though, of course, he is expanding. He's taking more bases, so that, of course, is always good. But right now, Lucifron's being the annoying one, able to get some drops, able to re-cancel that base right up there at the top. So, not the best right there for Stephano. He needs to be getting these bases up for sure. He wants to be moving towards that 4th base. Looks like the Lucifron has forgotten about his 4th base, though, as he has yet to even build another command center. Minus one that is simply under construction but dead. Looks like Lucifron forgot to put an SCV over there, and still only at 52 SCVs. So even now, he still does not have much bank. And look at how much bank Stephano has. I thought Lucifron was in a great position this game. Stephano turned it around, has now made it his game to lose. Look at the bank that he has. He can go engage into this army as it starts to push out and then completely remax, while Lucifron won't have any remaxing capabilities whatsoever. Stephano needs to be careful, though, not to just throw away Ultras like this. It looks like he's going to be throwing away 4 Ultras for free. Going to just have to simply remake that. So Stephano, with a little bit of a slip up right there, and Lucifron now can start to advance forward and be annoying. And once again, infested Terrans from Stephano. How many times is he going to do this before it finally gets killed off by Lucifron? I would imagine he'd just throw a bunker down next time and just put a couple Marauders in there, something to kill them off when the missile turret reveals them from their burrowed state. But Stephano now has his 4th base up. His 5th base and 6th base are being established as we speak. Lucifron making an advancement, though, up the map, as he's going to go over there and try and catch Stephano. Or catch his 4th base and kill it off. And now we see the spine crawlers going down over there. And will Stephano be able to engage this army before it sieges? No, it looks like the siege will go up. Lucifron going to be able to establish this nice position. Is Stephano going to counter? Is he just going to try and flank this army? Looks like that's exactly what he's setting up for at this time. Tanks getting sieged up. Looks like Lucifron's probably going to send some units up there to kill it off. Yes, he will. He needs to be careful not to completely separate his army, though. Infested Terran's going to deal with that. And here we see the engagement. Stephano starts to engage. A lot of the army goes up to that 4th base, so there's not going to be enough right here to defend. I'm not sure I like this out of Lucifron. He's going to be losing a lot of units right here, simply because he did split that up to take that base out right there, and the siege tanks do go down. Now it's just going to be Marine Marauder composition. He is able to take the base, which is always good, but Stephano able to remax so quickly. Look at how many Lings he's remaxing on. Already at 60 Lings on the remax. Plus, you can remax a lot more than that right there. Some 4 Ultras as well being thrown out. Stephano can just move all his drones down to this base right here. He needs to be careful not to lose all this. The Lings are now going to be streaming out so he can start heading right over towards the army. That's exactly what he's going to do. Getting a nice surround right here. It looks like these are going to load up. Oh, is there any Infestor energy? No, there's not. So Lucifron very smartly going to be able to leave. Still doesn't have a fourth base. Going to try and finally head over there. Infested Terrans killing off even more SCVs. 38 workers killed. He's down to 47, 46, possibly 45. Nope. 46 SCVs. And Stephano's still in a great position despite that actually decent engagement for Lucifron, thanks to his ability to pick up and get the heck out of there as soon as there was a remax from Stephano. Still not a big fan of how many tanks he sacrificed, though, simply to pick off that base. I think he sent a few too many units up there, or he should have kind of moved his army more over there together as opposed to leaving half of it here and then sending the other half up to that base to pick it off. So, fourth base now going to try and get established, and we're going to see another flank here as Stephano. Some Lings coming in from behind, the Ultras coming in from the front, infested Terrans not being thrown out, fungal growths, going down, all of that army, Banelings connecting, doing a ton of damage. The Ultras are going to start overwhelming all of these units, though. The tanks do not have enough siege fire to do enough damage. Marauders trying to do whatever they can, trying to kite away. But there are simply too many Ultralisk. It looks like he's doing everything they can, actually doing some decent damage, but it looks like they're finally going to start falling right here as the Ultras just pick away at the SCVs, force a liftoff on this command center. And Lucifron now not looking good at all. He's down 180 supply to 95. Remember, if he loses this game, Stephano will win the tournament right here, the MSI World or Pro Cup Worldwide, and the SCV is trying to engage Ultras as they're just getting absolutely slaughtered. Some burrows going down on these units. Is he going to unburrow right on top of Lucifron? I don't know if Lucifron saw that or not. SCVs, I mean, Ling's going to start streaming in now, and Lucifron is throwing everything that he has. He's pulling all these Marines, all these Marauders, doing whatever he can. But you have to remember that he was so short on SCVs that entire time. He's only at 18 now. He was at 47. He never made it over 60 SCVs, and that's made it so hard for him to re-macro up whenever these engagements happen. And Stephano now just going to back away with these 5 Ultras, wait until he can re-max. 36 more Lings on the way. He has got a few more Ultras out on the map there, and now these Ultras really need to be careful not to die. He burrows one right there as it weakens. He burrows the other one as it weakens. He's just going to keep leaving them burrowed when needed, I suppose, as there are no scans that have gone down. So Stephano going to go ahead and chill with that Ultra, probably just pick it up later time. There you go, use it actually for a little bit of a flank. Ling's now streaming in, going to catch some of these units off guard right here, and another great pickup by Lucifron, but is it too little too late? Can he actually defend this? The Ling's going to start tearing away at supply depots. This one actually going to fall right there, leaving a hole in the wall. Lucifron going to be losing this third base, to be forced to lift it off at the very least. Yes, so he does get the lift off. Still able to salvage that, at least a little bit of it, but now Stephano is continuing to push forward. He's on these 5 bases versus opponent's 2 at this point. Trying to create very nice choke points right there, so not many of these units can actually hit, but Ling streaming in from behind as that wall has been broken down. He's able to get a surround right here. The Ultra is doing so much damage. With the Lings, barracks falling, supply depots going down, Lucifron is not in a great position, and this might be the end of him as Stephano just continues to tear away at his army. He's doing whatever he can, trying to choke all these units in horrible positions. Stephano's Ultras actually couldn't get through that square right there. So Lucifron abusing the map in every way they can, or the buildings and the placements and the units, but I still just don't think it's going to be enough as the Ultras tear away, and that's it. GG, well played. Stephano wins this tournament 3-1, coming back from being down 1-0, and wow, what amazing play from Stephano with a 2-base hive into crazy fast upgrades, crazy fast Ultras, and then still somehow out macros his opponent and plays it out so beautifully, able to get nice engagements. And I mean, every game was so beautifully played right there by both players. Lucifron, I mean, he had some miraculous Banshee Hellion play that was just ridiculous. He did so much damage with that in every game. Stephano could never quite figure it out. Even when he was sticking on 2 bases, he was still having trouble dealing with it. But Stephano able to, I mean, this is a reason why Stephano's the best foreigner in the world, because of games like this, because of series like this, where he's able to just, even when he's down, he can come back from whatever. He can do whatever he wants, and you sit there and say, no way he wins with this, and he dominates with it. So that's going to be it. My name's MrLlama. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and I will see you guys next time.